Hey guys, I think we're streaming now. Let me know how this is and if you can hear me. Lighting is good, thank you. I think there's a huge delay. How's the quality? Thank you. Okay. I'm just gonna get a few things set up here. So Kevin, 30 and Wake Up, I've made you a moderator. Sandy, you're a moderator. And Sandy, you're gonna give me questions through the Google Doc. Just getting my windows set up here. Okay. Hello everyone coming in. We're gonna start right at 5 Pacific Standard Time. All right. So if anybody who's coming in, if you can just type where you're actually joining from, that would be great. I like to see where everybody's from. Redondo Beach. Love it, love it, love it. I'm actually in Reno, Nevada right now. I just got here. Okay, we're gonna move this up. Hello everyone. Wow. Let's see, we have Connecticut. Well, let me start from the top. So we have, I'm going back up to the top. Let's see, Redondo Beach, Bourbonette. Oh, I love that name. Shell's from Connecticut. Pamela's from Dallas. Woohoo, Dallas, I was just there. Let's see, 30 and a Wake Up. Ooh, from Colombia. Kevin. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Medellin? Medellin? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Let's see, Michigan, Tucson, Cincinnati, Maryland's in Cincinnati. Kathy is in Buckeye, Arizona, Wisconsin, Iowa, Fort Myers, Wilson, North Carolina. Yay! We got a lot of people here. San Francisco. Carol's from Northern Cal. Sandy's from Petaluma. I just saw you, Sandy. Shell, I love the Colombian accent. Let's see, Jersey City, New Jersey. Wow. People from all over. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to wait till exactly 5 o'clock to get started. Kevin. Kevin's a Missouri boy. Kevin, you should share people with what you're doing. Well, actually, I'll share with everybody. So, Kevin, if you haven't already seen, I did a video with him, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, where he's the one that says 30 and a Wake Up. And he is traveling across the world, one country every single month. And he just started, this is his 3rd country that he's in, so you should check out that video that I did where I interviewed him about his travels and what he's doing, and might be something that you guys are interested in. He's with a company called Remote Year that helps book all the travel and provides all the travel documents and an apartment and what else, Kevin? Co-working space. It's a really, really neat program. So you don't even have to quit your job. You can still be working and just travel while you're working if your company allows you to do that, or you can take a year off if you want. So that's another option. The oil has made you extra beautiful. Thank you. I know, am I glowing today? I feel hot. It's beautiful out here though. It's only like 64 degrees, I think. It's in Reno, Nevada, and just came through the mountain pass actually. It's beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I think we're right about 5 o'clock. So for everybody who's coming in, if you didn't hear me before, go ahead and type in where you're joining from, and that'll let us know, of course, where you're from. I like to see where everybody's coming from. And we'll go ahead and get started. So this live stream today is about how you transition into nomad life, and also have a little discussion about my upcoming Alaska road trip that I'm doing. So I wanted to get some information from you guys if you've ever been, maybe some tips and tricks you have, and also places that you think I might want to go to. So, hey Sam, I see you, sweet hacks, Santa Fe. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm just going to go into my story a little bit and how I got started in this nomadic life. So it's May now. I started, I think it was like May 15th, somewhere around there. So it's been almost 2 years. I started May 2017. And before that, actually, I had been thinking about RVing for about 5 years. It's kind of a lifelong dream of mine, but seriously thinking about it for about 5 years. And then trying to figure out, like, how do I set my life up for that? What do I need to do to travel full time, and specifically in an RV? So I just started like putting into I actually did like a goal list and figured out exactly like what I needed to do in order to live this kind of a life. And so I started putting those action steps into action, and it took me about 5 years to get it all completed, which means saving money to travel full time, also buying my RV, making sure that I had a house at the time too, so I had to sell my house. I decided to not rent it. So I sold my house, sold everything I owned. I made the decision to not actually store anything because I figured that this kind of a lifestyle was something that I would really enjoy, and I didn't think I would actually need to come back and use those belongings anymore. And why pay that storage fee if I'm not going to need that furniture or decorations or whatever. So I just decided, based on my own likes about traveling and being on the road, to not do the storage. So I sold everything I owned. Everything that I own right now is in this van. I don't have storage. I don't have stuff sitting at somebody's house, any of that. So I sold everything, sold my house. It was a crazy, crazy time. I made the decision in January 2017 to go ahead and get the RV. It was time. I knew that at some point in time I would figure that out, like when I was going to actually make that decision to go on the road. So January 2017, I decided, all right, it's time now. And I had been looking at RVs, and I kind of had something in mind. So I ended up buying a Class C Winnebago. It was 26 foot. That was my first RV. And I bought it in April of 2017. And the day I purchased it, I had already been talking to my realtor about selling the house. So I called her and said, all right, you got to put the house on the market because I just bought an RV. And she put the house on the market. We did an open house. That was a Wednesday. On Saturday, we did an open house. And by Sunday, we said that we would review all of the offers. And we had 5 offers, and the house sold that day. So within 4 to 5 days, the house was sold. So I had a 30-day close. So what is that, like 34, 35 days from the time I bought the RV and put the house on the market until it sold, and I had to actually be out. So I had to sell everything and then pack my RV and get ready. And you might think this is hilarious, but I've maybe been tent camping a couple of times and never RV camping. So I just took the plunge and did it because I'd been on so many road trips, and I thought, I really like taking road trips in my car, but I hated going to a hotel, and because I had my dog, and a lot of hotels don't take dogs, and so you had to figure that whole thing out. And I was like, God, if I had my home with me all the time, it would be so much better. So that's what I did. I thought, I'm gonna really like this. I was pretty sure I would, and if I didn't, well, I would go buy a sticks and bricks house again, but I really figured that I would like it. So it actually, I don't regret anything about it at this point at all. So sold the house, moved everything into the RV, or sold, everything, all the contents. I had some really great help from neighbors and friends to sell everything I owned. So that process was kind of interesting. So it was kind of like my house was IKEA. I put an ad out on Facebook Marketplace and said, hey, I'm having this kind of estate sale. And the neighbors in the neighborhood would come by and just look at stuff that they wanted. I put the big items on there, so like the couches and the big furniture and stuff. And they would come by and just to like look at the couch, but then look at a zillion other things that they wanted. So that's why I say it's like IKEA. Like every room was set up and they could figure out what they wanted. So I sold a lot of stuff that way, and then the rest of the stuff sold in a garage sale, and then the stuff that didn't sell I either gave away to neighbors or we all just took to Goodwill. So there was kind of 3 stages of selling everything. To say that it was, like super peaceful, I'd be lying. It was very stressful, and but I knew like there was a light at the end of the tunnel, so I just had to get through those 30 days. But I'll never forget literally the day that I handed the keys over to the realtor to give to the buyer. I was sitting in my driveway with my RV, and I had this incredible, overwhelming feeling, where I was like, the best word I can describe is freedom. I felt so much freedom and joy in that moment, knowing that I was embarking on this new lifestyle that I really didn't know a lot about. And there was a lot of things I had to research and still figure out. Specifically, I knew that I would need to be finding a place to live or to stay every night, because I didn't want to stay in RV parks. So I really wanted to be in like national forest or BLM land and the occasional Walmart or whatever if I'm traveling through. So I still had a lot to figure out. So there was a little bit of anxiety and fear wrapped around that, but within the first couple of months, you kind of get through that. You learn really, really fast. And so that's how I got started with all of this. And the transition from beginning, from the first 5 years, deciding that this is what I want to do until I actually did it. I know it sounds like 5 years is a long time, and it can be, but it flew by very, very quickly. So my point in all of this is that I really was trying to set myself up for success when I transitioned into this nomadic lifestyle. So that's my story for those of you who don't know and are new to the channel. And we do want to answer questions about what questions you guys have about transitioning into nomad life, or questions you have about like the new van that I have. I forgot to tell you that. So I had the 26-foot RV, and after about 6 months of owning that, I realized that I thought it was just too big. I overbought. At the time I didn't think I did, but I couldn't go all the places that I wanted to. And I was on the East Coast when I made this decision. And if you've ever been to the East Coast, you know that it's a little bit tighter. There's more people, less open land like there is on the West Coast. So I decided, I needed to downsize into a Class B. So I started looking at the Heimer, and within about, I guess it took about 9 months really for me to make that decision and look at other Class Bs, and then figure out that I wanted the Heimer, and then purchased. And I absolutely love it. I've had it for a year now, and I wouldn't trade it in for anything else. I really do love it, and it's been great. It's kind of weird, like going from 1,800 square feet in a sticks and bricks house to I can't remember what my other, it was a 26-foot RV. So downsizing into that, and then this is less than 100 square feet. It seems kind of extreme, but I have everything I need. I have some frills a little bit in here, not a lot, but I have everything I need. I mostly live, say 65% outdoors and the rest indoors. So it's actually pretty wonderful. So what questions do you guys have? Let's see. Sandy is going to feed me some questions, because last time I had such a hard time scrolling through everybody's questions to figure out what you guys were asking and actually be able to answer them quickly. Okay, so Maryland 386, how are you preparing for the Alaska trip? Yeah, I haven't actually said that yet, but that's one of the things that we're talking about on this live stream is I'm going to Alaska for the summer season. I've only flown in once before to Fairbanks, and then drove down to Fort Greely and then to Valdez. So that's my only experience with it. I've never actually been in an RV traveling, and so this is going to be very new for me. And of course, going all the way through Canada and Yukon and then Alaska. So I'm very, very excited, but still learning a lot about what I need to do. So let's see. How are you preparing for Alaska trips? So I bought this book called The Milepost, which I don't know where it's at. Actually, I'm looking around. I think it's in the back. But if you don't know what the milepost is, it literally shows like every single milepost in Alaska and what's there, and some dangers, particularly like there's things called I forgot what it's called now, frost heaves, where the land shifts because it's very cold and frozen, and so it shifts, and they flag them by marking them with a flag to make sure that if you're heading that direction and you're about to go over one of those frost heaves, that you don't damage your vehicle, because you can break an axle or bust a tire potentially by doing that. So Marilyn, I'm actually going through the milepost. I'm looking at that. I've just started the planning phase. I'm actually also a part of, you guys know I'm a part of Escapers, and we have a convergence there in July. So I'm in a Facebook group related to that, and then another Facebook group related to RVing to Alaska in 2019. And so there's a lot of helpful people in there who've done this. If you guys know Stacy and Gary Quimby, they're the ones that actually are hosting the Escapers event, but they have a channel called Pahana Travels. You should check it out if you want to definitely go to Alaska. And they actually do the Facebook group. They moderate that. And so they have a ton of information. They've been several times, and so they have a ton of information on there. And so I'm gathering information from that group, and then of course everybody else that is going. So far that's all I've done, but I really want to figure out exactly where I want to go, and because I haven't figured that out yet. I mean, Alaska is huge. And then I also need to figure out kind of my direction to make sure I stay, like, especially when I go through Canada, on some of the roads that are decent. As you know, my Heimer is a little low to the ground. I did think about getting a lift kit put on it, but I'm a little bit nervous about the lift kit just because it might change the way the RV handles, and especially with wind, which I'm always in wind because I'm traveling a lot. And so I just want to make sure that I don't compromise that. But everybody that I've talked to has said that the Heimer will be fine. It's just going to be dirty. Good question, Marilyn. Grand Marais, is that how you pronounce it? Did you stop doing the monthly income and expense reports? I did. I think I only did 3 of those, but to be honest, like, I wasn't getting a lot of feedback from them. They were really kind of one of my lowest producing videos, so I wasn't really sure if anybody liked them, so I just stopped. But if you guys like them, let me know, and I might start them back up again if I get some more feedback. But I think what I'd prefer to do is actually wrap that into the 8-week boot camp that I'm putting together. The 8-week boot camp will go through a lot of that stuff and how to budget and go through things related to how to start a business on the road. So that's really what those monthly income and expense reports were for, is for people who want to do a business on the road. So I think I'm probably just going to put it in that, but we'll see. Angie Gracie, how long do you see yourself on the road? I get this question a lot, actually. So I don't have any plans of stopping. I love what I'm doing. I feel like, when I first started out, that, I thought, well, maybe I'll be on the road for 5 years. I didn't really have a definite time, but I thought maybe I'll be on there for 5 years. But then I feel like the more you travel, the more you realize that you've just scraped the surface. Like, there's just so much more out there. So I don't have a definite date, actually. So I just know that I love what I'm doing, and there's so much to do. There's so much to travel just here in North America. So if you've followed some of my videos from this last summer, like, I went to Mexico. The year before that, I went to Canada. I've done a lot of traveling, of course, in North America. And then this year I'm actually going to go back up into Canada, you know, on my way to Alaska and do Alaska. And then probably in the fall I'll go back to Mexico as well. So I'm just kind of all over the place in North America, but there's just so much to see. So I don't really have a time frame for that. Wanda O'Hara, hello. I'm looking to purchase a camper van from La Mesa RV. How was your experience? Well, I purchased mine from La Mesa. So I'll just tell you what my experience was. La Mesa RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico was absolutely amazing. That's where I bought mine from. I was going to purchase an RV from the La Mesa down in the Phoenix area, and that was in December of 2017, and they were not really great to work with. And my experience with them afterward as well, when trying to do some warranty work, wasn't a positive experience either. So that's my experience. But Sandy, who is moderating Track's mom, is that right, Sandy? She actually has a great experience with La Mesa. So you might talk to her if you see her on here. Actually, she changed her name to Sandy Kelly. So Sandy, talk with Sandy about that, because she might be able to point you in the right direction of a La Mesa that she's actually worked with. Sandy, maybe you should type that on here, what La Mesa you actually went with. Great question. All right, so Summer Monsoon Rain, nice name. Are you able to support your lifestyle without dipping into savings? So the way that I'm set up is I am actually dipping into savings right now, but mine was completely intentional. I was working for a company full time when I started this lifestyle, and I worked for them for about a little over a year after I started this lifestyle. I ended up quitting that job last June of 2018, and I did it because I wanted to really do what I'm doing now with this business, and I couldn't do both. So I saved up enough money to live off of specifically for this venture for a couple of years, just because I couldn't do both before. So I am dipping into savings, but it's savings that was specifically set aside for what I'm doing now. So the hope is that this business will flourish, and I don't have to dip into that savings anymore. So I'm getting there with that, though. Do you so I guess my follow-up question to you is, are you looking to go into this lifestyle, and are you looking to do a business, or how would you pay for this lifestyle? If you want to answer that for me, then we can do some follow-up questions with each other. Keith Crone, I have a one-wheel, is that an elite camper? Where would you go to replace both tops? Where would you go to replace both tops? I'm not familiar with that. I'm sorry. Is anybody else familiar with that? I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that. I might have to look into that, though. Let's see. Brooke Villarreal, are you still plant-based, and do you ever think of doing content for that channel? Ah, Brooke. So I am plant-based still. Primarily, I eat fish, though. So I am plant-based, and the other channel that I was working on, I started prior to this one, and I jumped into the RV life, like, with both feet, everything I had, just about a couple months after I started that channel. So I don't know. That's the question. I've thought about it, but it takes a lot out of me to do this channel. And I thought about incorporating all of that into this particular channel, because this channel is really kind of all about my life, which would be the plant-based eating and cooking. And I know people are always asking me to do more videos on cooking, which I never seem to get around to doing. I apologize, but it's on the list to do. And so I don't know. That's the question. Do you think I should have a different channel? Maybe that would be a good question for you to answer for me. If you want me to have a different channel for it, go ahead and leave me a message. And I just saw it. I would like to live the lifestyle but work to support myself. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong one. That was summer monsoon rain. So yeah, let me know if you want me to start that other channel up or keep it going. I've thought about it. I mean, it's very different than what I'm doing here. I can segregate it a little bit more and have more content related to the plant-based eating. Sorry, there's like a little bug flying around here. But let me know. Ron Kreider, what do you do for money? So I actually just answered that question from Summer Monsoon Rain. So hopefully you heard that one. But currently it's just doing the videos for YouTube, and then I do have like affiliate income. I'm doing the 8-week boot camp that's starting up soon. That's all about how to transition into nomad life and also how to start a business on the road. So if that's the type of content that you like, you might want to go ahead and sign up for the 8-week boot camp, which is, there's a link in the description of this video. And Sandy, maybe you can grab that link, or Kevin, and post that in the chat. That would be great. I got a lot of questions. Thanks, everybody. Let's see, Claudia, and we're going to keep this to maybe 30-40 minutes. So it's 5:20 right now. So we have 10 to 20 more minutes left. Claudia, let's see, Claudia Sutherland, hello. With Heimer having gone out of business, do you have any trouble with getting work done? Claudia, so far, no. So, we have some really great resources within the Heimer community. Sam Carswell, who I believe is on the chat right now under Sweet Hacks, he is this brilliant mind engineer that has helped with a zillion things on our Heimer, along with some other amazing engineers and people who actually have Heimers and are part of our community. And I feel like with them helping us, we haven't had any issues. We actually had a Heimer meetup in January in Quartzsite for all Heimer active owners, and we did a lot of modifications and fixes and things based on things that we had all learned. The other resource we have is a gentleman by the name of Gordon White. He has a company called Edge Motorworks in the San Jose, California area. And he does a lot of work on camper vans. And he's been doing a ton of work for us after the fact, after, we kind of lost our warranty with Heimer. Well, I say we lost our warranty. We're not 100% sure yet, but it looks like that might happen. But anyways, we're all a little on the fence about that one. But currently right now, in fact, I was just at Gordon's place in San Jose getting some work done. But mine was more modification related. But he knows a lot. And so I think with our strong community that we have, plus Gordon and some other individuals that are part of dealers, I haven't been to some of these other dealers. I think we're fine. I don't feel like we are in a bad position. I would say trying to get into a dealer, that usually takes a couple of months sometimes to get warranty work done. In this case, if we don't have the warranty, then we have to pay for it ourselves, and we might still have the problem of having to wait for 2 months or, lengthy amount of time. The problem we face with that is that sometimes the dealers would contact Heimer to figure out what to do, and they don't have that resource anymore. So it might get a little sticky with that. So it's we'll figure that out as we go along. But I really believe with our strong community, we'll be able to get the things done that we need to get done to repair things. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. So we're down to this one. Okay, the Bourbonette. Oops. Have you upgraded anything on your connectivity in the van, Wi-Fi, range extenders, etc.? I have not updated anything based on, well, I put a video out, I think November, December of this last year, maybe. It was all about my Wi-Fi and connectivity. And I haven't changed anything with that. I have the, well, I can't even move it over here. It's kind of tied down. So I still have two hotspots. This is the one that I've had, the AT&T one, for a while, and it works really, really well in most places. And then I got the Verizon prepaid plan, and the rubber band is around it because I busted the case. That's all. That's what happens when you're in a van. Things shift around and they break sometimes if you don't have them properly secured. So Anyway, so the Verizon is working really well. In fact, that's I use that one a lot. It's the prepaid plan. It's one that I was testing out. I owe all you guys a video on this. I said in November that I would do a follow-up after 2 months, and it's been 5, I think. So, and part of that, I think I prematurely said 2 months. I wanted to really travel around a lot more into different places before I gave a good review on it. And that should be coming out very soon, actually. So, okay. So, Gregor Miller. Oh, thank you for the super chat. $15. Thank you very much for a great steak dinner with sauteed shrimp or not. I'll take the shrimp. I'm veganish, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have a question there, Gregor. It's always so nice when people do that to you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Where am I at? I lost my place. Tina Brown. You look great, Amber. Thank you. How much weight have you lost? I would love more info on plant-based lifestyle. Thank you, Sandy. So, how much weight have I lost? I don't know, and it's not something that I really like to talk about. No offense, I appreciate you asking the question. It's just I don't really keep up with numbers necessarily anymore. I really kind of go on how my pants and stuff are fitting. So I've lost 2 pant sizes, if that helps, since I started kind of down this road. So and the plant-based lifestyle, I mean, I do have some stuff coming out on that. I do have that other channel, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it up yet. So but I'll start posting some more stuff about the plant-based lifestyle if that's what you guys want. It sounds like I'm getting some more questions about that, so I'll post more about that and kind of how I eat. I've done several videos on like how I cook in this kitchen, and it does talk a little bit about plant-based eating. I'll be cognizant of that in the future. Thank you. But it's a good lifestyle when you're eating plant-based, and I don't know, I feel so much better. Not only do you lose weight, but your health improves, and I don't know, I think my skin has improved, my hair has improved maybe a little bit. Peace Among Trees, love that name. I love trees. Can you see my little tree on my necklace? Related to the question on whether you dip into your savings, what is your plan for retirement funds? Retirement funds. Well, I do have retirement funds and a 401k IRA. So I'm not currently contributing to that because I'm building my business, but I have that residual left over from the company that I was working at. So got a couple of years to kind of figure this out and start putting money back into that. But it's very, very important, of course. And so I don't know, I've got 15 plus years before I'm hit retirement age, maybe. I don't know. I technically retired from corporate America, but I don't know if I'll ever technically not work, especially if I'm doing this because I love it. Maryland 386. I'm researching buying a camper van. My biggest worry is whether I can handle maintenance repairs on the van. What has been your experience with those things? So, I mean, it's going to come up. Depends on, I would say if you have a warranty, but I had a warranty and probably don't have one now. And it was a good company. So I think that there should be a plan for having some savings set aside for sure. In case something breaks. If you are not mechanically inclined, then you would definitely want to look into, having savings so that you could hire someone to do it. I'm trying to think, the chassis is covered. Our chassis is covered by Ram. It's a Ram ProMaster 2500. So that's all under warranty. We didn't lose that. So if you buy a new van, then you have that, so your engine and all that stuff would be covered, so you should be fine with that. Everything else in here, you just have to kind of think of it like a house. You're going to have repairs in your house, things that break. So the more you can really learn about your van and your RV, the better equipped you're going to be able to do some of these repairs yourself. So that's kind of how I looked at it. In fact, this last week I was hanging out with some friends, Terrell and Matt, in San Jose, and we did some modifications to my van. And when he was doing it, I was watching him the whole time, and we took some panels off so that I could put some insulation in, and I really watched and then learned and did some stuff myself. so that I could understand how my van is put together. So, I mean, I do little things here and there on it, and what I don't know how to do, I just look for someone who does. That's the best thing I can tell you about that. But definitely, if you don't have anybody that can do it, make sure you have savings so you can hire somebody. Brooke Villarreal, plant-based. Let's see, that's just where I found you. Oh, I remember you, Brooke. You had mentioned that from your weight loss channel, but I think if you did both here, that's fine, even if it's a series on being healthy while living on their... Oh, great topic. Thank you. I'm highlighting that one. I appreciate that feedback. Great. And let's see, how much time do we have left? We're at 5:30, so how about if we go for another 10 minutes? Sharon H. Amber, can you recommend comfortable camp chairs that don't take up much room in the van? What do you use? Oh my gosh, I've gone through so many camp chairs because I have a bad back. So I currently have one called Strong Back, and it's been my favorite. You sit pretty upright in it, and it's got lumbar support in the back, and it's got little handles on the side. But Strong Back, you can get it on Amazon. You can buy it from strongback.com. I would go research them on strongback.com. They've got some great videos and stuff on that, but that's my favorite, and it's fairly minimalistic. It actually folds up. I was looking for one that didn't fold in half, but one that actually kind of collapsed onto itself. So that's kind of my favorite one. It has a little bag that you can carry it into. Those are hard to find for sure, but if you go to like REI or Camping World or any of those outdoor type shops, a lot of times you can sit in the camping chairs and test them out, but I think this is my fourth one. So I think it's a keeper though. I really, really like it because it helps my back. And they also make it, the other great thing is they make two versions, one that's for shorter people like me and one that's for taller people. So for me, if I was in the one that's a little bit taller, my feet wouldn't actually touch the ground. So this one, it does, which is nice. All right, let's see. On to the next question. Keith Crone, anyone still tent camp? Never had to go for in repairs. I don't tent camp. I love camping, but I just don't love the camping or the tent camping stuff. Every time I've been, the ground is like super cold. M. Jeffers, do you think it's viable to do van life on the East Coast without access to BLM land? I do. You're just going to potentially, well, I say you can. I mean, you definitely can. It just really depends on what you want. So if you're wanting more free spots, then you can be a national forest. You're going to have to probably do more stealth camping. So if you're looking to buy an RV, then you would, a van, then you're going to want to do something that's very stealthy looking, and just to not draw attention to yourself if you're going to be in urban areas. Walmart, Cabela's, like there's a ton of places that you could stay at overnight, but I don't know, it depends on what you want. If you want to be in nature more, then, and you want it to be free, that's going to be a little bit more challenging, unless, like I said, you're in the national forest. And the other problem that you're going to have is during the wintertime, if you're staying in a national forest, you guys have colder weather on the East Coast, higher elevation as well, and so you're going to get into snow, and that's going to potentially be a problem. The other side to that is if you want to pay for a place to stay, then you're looking at RV parks, state parks, things like that. So it just depends on what you want, and maybe you could do a mix of the both. But I know a ton of people who travel all up and down the East Coast. I'll be there next year, so I can do some videos on that, which I know doesn't help you right now, but you can do it. I did it in my Class C RV for the kind of northern half of the eastern coast, like Maine and all the way down to DC and New York and all those places. And I stayed in some free places, but also I mixed in more state parks. So anytime I think about going to the East Coast now, I save my money because I know I'm going to have to probably pay for RV parks, or I particularly like state parks. They're a little bit more large and more beautiful. So, but you can do it. Let's see. Summer monsoon rain. Did you consider doing your own van conversion? I did. So the reason why I didn't do it is because the Heimer had just come out. It had been out for a year when I started looking at it, and it literally had everything I wanted. The layout plan was really nice. And so I just decided, I would go with that one because it was already built out. I wouldn't have to wait for a custom van to be built. And so because I like this one, I just went ahead and went with it. In hindsight, there's definitely some stuff that I don't like about it, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me. Like I'd like the thing that you get sometimes with a custom is a more open environment, and this isn't as open because of this wall behind me, which is a closet and then the bathroom. If I had to do it all over again, I would completely take the bathroom out because I do not use the sink in there. I use my kitchen sink over here. I do use the toilet, but you could build a like a bench seat where it goes over the toilet, and then you just lift the lid up to go to the bathroom. There's some shelving and stuff in there for toiletries, but if you take all the walls down, you could just put shelves up or cabinets up, and you would not lose. In fact, you would gain storage at that point. So great question. Also, if you are considering a van conversion, you know, some of the van conversions can get pricey depending on if you have someone else do it. If you're going to do it yourself, you can save some money if you do it yourself, but if you're going to have someone else do it, you're probably looking at, if you buy the van yourself and then have someone convert it out, you can spend anywhere between $50,000 on up to get it converted, depending on what you want in it. So you just have to take those things into consideration, but it's definitely doable. All right, I think we're out of questions here. Do we have anything else? Oh, I think we just got one more. Bourbon, bathroom sinks are such a waste of space in a van. Right? I didn't know that when I bought this, but you know, live and learn. So I might take it out. I've looked at customizing it and taking all of that out. All right. Let's see. Oh, do we have another one? Gregor, you should go to the drive-in vibe and meetup. Check their site. You'll meet fabulous peeps. They can help you out and get your name out. Oh yeah, they're part of the escapers group. So I do know them, not on a, you know, we don't talk like all the time or anything, but I follow them and I've met them at the escapers group. Fabulous people, love them. I love the renovation that they're doing with their it's an Argosy Airstream. It's really cool to watch them do that. All right, I think we're done. So I so appreciate everybody getting on here. If you guys have any other questions about you know, going to this nomadic lifestyle and starting a business, I do have the 8-week boot camp coming up soon. You can click on the link in the description box and sign up for the wait list to get on that. It's going to be my beta course, super cheap. It's going to be like $97 for 8 weeks. Lots of great content. And oh, Amanda and Jimmy, I just saw you get on. Hi. Go ahead and sign up on that wait list if you want. If you have any tips on me going to Alaska or places you think I should go, also put that in the comments even after this is over. So, all right, guys. I think that's it. We're out of questions. Oh, wait, there's one more. What did you use for insulation? Oh, I used, dang, I forgot the name of it. But it's sound deadening and kind of like Reflectix, and it sticks to the walls. So, yeah, that's what I use. I can put that in the notes as well. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I really appreciate you getting on the call, and leave me some comments below if you have any other questions. All right, guys, hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. Bye.